Okay, so first, product of prime factors. So basically what we're going to do is find the prime factorization, is the fancy term, of bigger numbers. So what that means is we want to write these numbers in term, like, as a product of prime factors. So we're going to factor this thing out all the way down to prime numbers, and we're going to rewrite it 108 equals blah, blah, blah. All these prime numbers times each other. So I think all of you guys know this as upside down. Is it upside down or backwards division? Upside down division. Okay, so we are going to upside down divide 108. The way that I like to do it is to first start by taking out 2. So we start by taking out prime numbers. I start with 2 when it's an even number because 2 is always easiest, I think, to do in my head. If 2 doesn't come out, then I would try 3, then I would try 5, then I would try 7, then I would try 11, 13, and so on. Okay, so this one we can obviously start with 2, right, because it's an even number. So 2 comes out of 108, and I'm left with 54, right? I can do another 2, right, because 54 is another even number. So I'm going to give myself another box. Pull a 2 out of 54. 54 divided by 2 gives me, what, 27? Uh-oh, I don't have an even number anymore. This 27 isn't an even number. So what's the next thing that I would try and pull out of 27 that I can? 3, yeah. So I'm going to pull a 3 out. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And then, oh, I know that 9 is 3 times 3. So now I've factored 108 into a bunch of prime numbers. And I can rewrite 108 as a product of prime numbers. So 108 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. If I wanted to write that and make it look a little nice using exponents, Corey, what would it be? 2 squared times 3 cubed. Perfect. I'm not positive if the book actually has you guys write it. I think it does have you write it as a product of those prime numbers. So once you do your upside down division, take all those numbers that you have on the side and just multiply them all together. You can always double check these ones. You should get back your original number. 2 squared times 3 cubed. All right, 400. This one's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to give you guys a second to try and take a whack at it yourselves. You should be able to do 2's for a while right now, so this is good. So if I wanted to rewrite it as a product of prime numbers, 400 equals 2 to the 1, 2, 3, 4th power times 5 squared. If I check that, 400 does equal 2 to the 4th times 5 squared. Pretty easy. All right, now I have some more word problems. Find a number such that 8 times the number is 36 greater than the opposite of the number. So these ones, I'm not really sure why these ones are paired in a different group from what we did yesterday. They're pretty similar. So we need to just turn this English sentence into a math sentence. Who thinks they can turn that into a math sentence? Andrew? Perfect. So if I was reading this, 8 times the number is definitely 8n, and then is gives me my equal sign. 36 greater, whenever you see either the word greater or less than, we want to leave ourselves a blank spot and put either plus or minus 36. So this is greater than, so I put plus 36, and it's greater than the opposite of the number, which is negative n. So we put that negative in there. And then we can go ahead and solve. So since I already have number over here and my variable over here, I'm going to add the n. Give myself a few less steps than going in the other direction. So 9n equals 36. And I'm going to divide both sides by 9 because 9n is just 9 times n. So I need to reverse that. N equals 4. My number is 4. If I want to check my answer, I would plug it back into my original equation. So 8 times the number, so I would have 8 times 4 equals 36 more than the opposite of the number, so negative 4 plus 36. So I would get that 832 equals negative 4 plus 36, which checks out, right? Because negative 4 plus 36 is 32. Super easy check. I know I got the right answer, so I'm in good shape. All right. If the sum of a number and 6 is multiplied by 2, the result is 10 greater than the number. Find the number. This one's like slightly more complicated, but I know you guys can do it. All right, the only tricky part about this one is it tells us that the sum is multiplied. So we're multiplying the sum. What's up, Riley? You got the equation? All right, let's hear it. No, you're good, you're good. So the sum of a number and 6, so what's the sum of a number and 6? So don't worry about the 2 yet, it's just going to be n plus 6. So our sum of the number and 6 is n plus 6. The whole sum is multiplied, so this is kind of tricky. Since I saw that the whole sum is multiplied, the sum has to be trapped in parentheses, and we're going to multiply the sum by 2. You got the rest of it, Isaac? Equals n plus 10. Yeah. So again, I have one of these greater than things. The result is 10 greater than the number. So since I saw 10 greater than, I would leave myself a space and write plus 10, and then it says just the number. So I did n. And here, our equals word is result. Result gave us that equals. So what do I have to do when I'm solving this to start? Monica? Yeah, I got to distribute that too, because remember when we wrote those, our newest set of instructions for solving said I always have to get rid of the parentheses first. So I'm going to distribute out the 2. So I'm going to get 2n, and 2 times 6 is plus 12 equals n plus 10. Sophie, what should I do next? Yeah, the number on one side. So which direction should I move in? Doesn't really matter. So minus n. So we're going to move our n's first. Okay. So we want to subtract an n from both sides. So Sophie is going to move our n's over onto the left side. So 2n minus n gives us 1n. I'm going to carry down my plus 12. These n's cancel out, and I have a 10 on the right side. So, Bethany, what should I do next? Yeah. I want to get my numbers on their own side as well. So I'm going to get that n equals negative 2. If I want to check my answer like it tells me to, I'm going to plug in negative 2 into my equation. So 2 times negative 2 plus 6 equals, hopefully, negative 2 plus 10. So if I do my parentheses first, 3 times 4 equals negative 2 plus 10. 8 equals 8. Yay! Check works. All right, so really these are just setting up, guys. We need to become experts at setting these up. Twice a number is 42 less than negative 102. Find the number. Who's got this one? Someone new? Yeah, Monica? Yeah, negative 102 minus 42. This one's like sort of weird because they give us both numbers, like both of the things on the right side of the equal sign are numbers. So if I was reading this, twice a number, so that's 2n, that's pretty easy, gives me my equal sign. 42 less than, this one's important, we left a space for that negative 102 and put the minus 42 after it, less than negative 102. So the negative 102 goes in that blank spot. All right, so I can combine, these are both numbers, so they're like terms technically, so 2n equals negative 144, right? Now I can divide both sides by 2 to get the n by itself, and n equals negative 72. All right, so don't get tripped up on those guys. If they give you one with 2 numbers on one side of the equation, that's probably totally fine. Don't think it's wrong just because that happened. Okay, grab a whiteboard.